It's this picture that's going around Facebook, right? And some people are on the mom side, and some people are like, hell nah, she needs CPS called to her, right? So it was about a mom that had worked at McDonald's, and she brought her kid there, and he was sleeping in a booth while she was working. And some people are like, well, what the fuck? Why you just ain't leave the kid at home? But the kid was young, not young, but probably about 7, 8, something like that. So if the kid is too young to stay at home, you rather me leave the kid home alone or bring him to work with me and let him sit at work with me. Of course I'm on the mom side, number one, mom, dad, whoever. You gotta take your kid to work. You gotta take your kid to work. But I used to do that when I used to work at Potbelly. Naya used to come with me every single Saturday because I was at work. And then even once I met Kiki, and she once, like I said, once I met her, once we moved in together and stuff, sometimes our schedules would be we both working at the same time. So of course, if we're both working at the same time, we don't have a babysitter. So it was easier for her to go to work with me for the simple fact that I had booths. Because at the time, her job, it wasn't gonna be nowhere for my kid to sit, not nowhere where she can be seen and sit and stuff. Like, why y'all knocking a girl?
Right.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. Take your kid to work. Now, if you do construction and you take your kid to work, that's different. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you can't do that. That's a safety hazard. Or excuse me, even I think probably almost every job I had, Naya went with me. Sometimes even when I went to school. Ronnie, you remember when we was taking IT classes and stuff? I used to bring her to school with me. And she used to sit in the back of the room, or she'll sit beside me and be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't have a sitter, I don't have a sitter. I'm not leaving my kid at home, especially even if they are mature enough to be at home by themselves and they don't want to. I'm not gonna make you. Come on.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people take their kids to work, especially like we was working at Potbelly, and like everybody had kids, and literally everybody brought their kid. If they didn't have a babysitter or they had to work the weekends and the school wasn't in or whatever the case may be, like literally even the damn store managers brought their kids. You can sit, they can sit here, I can see them, right? Give them their laptop, their tablet, their coloring books or whatever they want. They can eat because you got food all over the place. Mm-hmm. And let them sit over there. That's the best. If I had a kid and I needed a babysitter and I didn't have one, they coming right to work with me. Mm-hmm. Right to work.
Especially now, if I had this my full-time job, if I had that back when Naya was younger, oh, she'd have been to work with me all the time.
Yeah, I know. One of my friends, she was working. She been in the government for years, but she used to bring her daughter to work, and then she'd be like, sit over here, just be quiet, and up in the government buildings. You got to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm. I remember sometimes she used to send us pictures of the kid under the desk.
Yes, yes, under the damn desk. She like, just go over there and be quiet. But yeah, I mean, as long as your kid not running around, crazy and disrupting you from getting your job done, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I didn't mention that part, but I guess that is a huge factor. If you got a badass kid, you need to find a babysitter. But if your child will sit there and watch TV on their phone, or even people watch, because I used to do that a lot. She used to people watch. You know what I'm saying? Or like all the people that's coming in and stuff. So, if they're gonna sit down calm and stuff like that, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I would absolutely not call CPS on anybody for something like that. Now, since I'm in the field that I'm in with my full-time job, I would probably be like, yo, I might have a connect to be able to, a resource for you in case you are looking for some free or cheap childcare, or whatever. But I would, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna call CPS or something. Now, if I heard them saying, yeah, I had to leave my 5-year-old in the house, by herself because I was working, then I'd probably be like, ma'am, I might actually have to call CVS on you because
Right.
your kid is too young to be in the house by themselves.
But it's probably is people that leave their 5 and 7
It
year olds
absolutely
by
is.
themselves.
It
And
absolutely is. And again, I ain't mad at you. You gotta do what you gotta do. Childcare is absolutely way too expensive.
I seen this video, and it was a dad, like he picked up his kids on weekends, but he worked on weekends. And so the video that I seen, it was a 7 year old and a 3 year old. And the 7 year old like ran out of the building because he was like a street camera. And then like next thing you know, it was like fire department and stuff like that came. So while the father was at work and left the two kids in the house, the dog bit up and died. The little 3 year old died because the dog ate up the baby.
Mm.
So I would rather take them. Well, I don't know if he could have took them to work because it was like an overnight kind of thing. And that's the thing. Like it's an overnight job. You leaving them babies in the house all that time.
Mm-hmm.
But the video was really sad. And I shouldn't have watched it because I read what it was before I watched it, and I watched it anyway. But it was really fucking sad. So take them babies to work with you if you can.
Yeah, I remember when we first started the cleaning company, and I was doing overnight, and I used to tell y'all like, hey, Naya's next door, keep an eye on her. If she call y'all, somebody just run on next door or whatever. But that's even dangerous because the whole time I would be out, I would be like, please don't let no fire start in that building. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
not only because I live in an apartment, it's different if you live in a house sometimes. But not only am I, in an apartment and got to worry about her, it's other people that I have no control over too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like stuff like it really, really scares me. I really didn't want her to, stay, but she was always like, I'm fine. They're next door, da da. And of course, I'm just like, all right, I want her to be comfortable. And
Yeah.
her home was, that was her comfort zone. So yeah, it's definitely a struggle. It's a struggle when you're a parent, you know and even if you're still with the other parent, sometimes it's still a struggle because again, if both of y'all work at the same time, then what? You
Yeah.
got three kids, one in high school, middle school, and junior high, I mean in elementary. What PTA meeting you going to? What baseball game you going to? You got to
Yeah.
pick. And people wonder why parents be going crazy. Boy, I couldn't imagine having more than one kid. I'd pull my hair out. My locks would be on the daggone floor. I'll probably be beating myself up. Y'all see my black eye, the other one would be black. I'm telling you, yo, I no. I ain't
Yeah.
interested. I ain't interested not one bit. No, ma'am. No, sir. Y'all can keep
I
it.
I can't even take care of puppy and plants at the same time. My plants dead. All of them.
Man,
All
yo,
the plants are dead.
I told y'all my bunny passed, but I didn't know my bunny. I think it was because I gave my bunny spinach. So apparently Google says you are not supposed to give your bunny spinach. I didn't know. I thought greens was greens. However, my bunnies like collard greens. So that's mainly what I give them. But I decided to go ahead and give them spinach because I went to go get the collard greens and it wasn't there. So I'm like, greens is green, grab some spinach. And of course, the girl one was always bullying the boy one for more food. And I think that's what it was that actually killed her. She ate up all that food and wasn't supposed to. And so, you know, yeah, totally agree with you. My point was with I got 4 animals and a kid. I don't want no more. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want nothing else. If I try to go somewhere overnight, I got to find a babysitter for the bunnies. The cat will be all right, but the bunnies got to get fed twice a day. My cat, she don't eat that much. That's why I said that. Peter, don't get me. But yeah, so it's parents, yeah. My hat's off to y'all if you got more than one child. And if you got one child and you're still struggling, you are not alone. I struggle every day. I read a post that I had posted on Facebook a year ago. They show you memories, and it was like sometimes I think that my parenting is off, but then sometimes I think that my child just don't know how to child. And I was like, yeah, that's it. Yes, it ain't me. It ain't me. It's these kids, parents. It ain't you. No, I'm playing. Sometimes it do be y'all. But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. So yeah, man. I don't know. But we gonna make it. I think each generation, and since in each black generation, I think we have been getting better and better. A lot of folk are like, this generation, every generation, this generation ain't got no hope. This generation ain't got no hope. Y'all ain't have no motherfucking hope. Y'all was doing the same shit we was doing, except it wasn't no social media to prove what was going on.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it was more family oriented, but it was also I don't know. I guess it was more unity back then, but I think we're getting back to it.
I think so too. But you know how the older people be talking about the music, the young music and all that, but you listen to them old nasty songs. That's why they be having all.
And I seen videos of y'all popping y'all coochies in the 60s and 70s and 50s.
Yeah, I saw it too.
You were just popping your coochie in a church dress, because that's what y'all wore. But that don't mean that y'all wasn't popping the coochies.
Yeah.
But, so but yeah, I absolutely think we are getting better. I think Naya's generation is definitely going to be a lot of successful stories, a lot of first-time college graduates or business owners, and more success. I really, really do. I really do. Y'all know I brag about my baby all the time. I don't know what she's gonna do when she's an adult. I don't know. She's a very good artist. She wants to become a mathematician. She's a very good cook. Like, I don't know when the last time I like really cooked dinner. Now I might make us some lunch or some breakfast, but she be doing that most of the time too. Really good cook. All she needs is some ingredients. You know what I'm like she. So it's like I feel like the possibilities for the generation before, under us, is just like really good. And I think my generation, we're really, really trying hard to make sure that our kids don't be like us. We really are. So I think, we, it's gonna be in the up and up. A lot of wealthy, a lot of wealth.
A lot of the knowledge that we have now, and I see it with you, I see it with some of our friends and stuff, like we have more knowledge now than we did back then. So I see y'all putting that on y'all kids and have them set up, like they starting off young. Like when Naya started doing paintings and cooking and makeup and all that stuff, she was young doing that stuff. She didn't even never took a nail class, and she fucking bombed with it. Like
and that makeup.
Yeah, and I see like a lot of kids that start off at like 9, 8, 9, 10, doing like great talent, and some of them got like little businesses and stuff now.
Yeah,
and some of them started and didn't, started, stop. But the point is, when I was 8 and 9, think about no business and shit. So yes, they're more business minded. I think it's going to be great with them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And, I'm excited, as much as I say I don't want to have more kids, I'm excited to see how Naya future is. And, I'll be excited once she get married and give me a grandbaby at an older age.
Amen.
I ain't trying to be no young grandmother. It's a no for me. But yeah, I don't know. I really get excited thinking about her future. And I just, pray that I'm around to witness it here in person.
When I was talking to my therapist on Monday, he always asks me every now and then, do I want kids? I'm like, my answer is not going to change. I'm like, no. And he was like, never. I'm like, no. I said, if they gonna come out like my niece, I don't want them. And what's the chances of that? Slim to none. Slim to none. That is fucking rare, okay?
I used to say I was gonna carry your baby for you, but I said before 30. You took too long.
It is fine, because I ain't ready for it, and they might not be like Naya. So I mean, shit, I don't know.
I think that's why I'm afraid to have another child, because if the child isn't like Naya, I don't want to actually, I don't want to slip up and say something like Nadia didn't do that, or Nadia wasn't like that when she was that age. Like that real life, like that make kids resent each other and everything. And I don't want to do that. And then the fact that I used to cry talking about having more kids. That's how passionate I was about not having more kids. And then the pandemic kind of just made it put the icing on the cake. Imagine having to go lock back down and I'm trying to help a 4-year-old in school online while I'm still working. And I work all of my jobs with the public. So it's not like I'm even get to be home. I'm gonna have to pay somebody to be here or something.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I just want to say I'll be mad as shit when I be seeing people like, oh yeah, shut the world down, let's get these stimulus checks. No, that shit pisses me off because I don't get shut down, bitch. I'm still working.
Yeah.
Breaks. The fuck.
None